It's been fun. It's been fun going to work. We've had a great camp. Guys show up every day and they're putting in a lot of effort and energy, and they're very coachable, teachable, and we're looking forward to getting game planning this week.
What have you seen from Nikai? Jim had some good things to say.
Yeah, he's had a really good off season. You know, Nikai had a plan this off season, really got after it well in the weight room, changed his body, and you know, had a great camp. He's our starting will linebacker right now. He's earned the right to start. Does everything you asked him to do, and he's very coachable. He's playing with his hands downhill. Has a good understanding of the defense and what we're trying to do. He's, you know, unbelievable in meetings, big eyes, big chest, takes great notes, wired the right way. Just very excited about how he's done and hopefully what he'll continue to do.
You got here, how much of like last year's film did you look at and see the personality you were inheriting, or do you not?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I looked at it a lot actually because I was the special teams coordinator at Maryland, and so you observe personnel. It's kind of funny. We joke about it. Like Mike Barrett, I'd see him on the punt team, and we, base our scheme off the alignment of him and where he would move around to. So Josh Ross was on the punt team, so definitely watched him fly around. But we're watching more offensive teams, and then you see, just because of how it was, guys in the Big Ten last year, you were just cut short with some stuff. But yeah,
What have you seen from Junior Colson in camp, and what do you kind of see as a timeline for him of when he might be able to get out there?
Yeah, Junior's out there. He's competing. There's kind of like the starters right now, and then there's a group of guys that we're still evaluating to see who's going to be like the next guy to go in. He had some bumps and bruises early on. Missed a little bit of time, but he's back in the mix. Practiced well yesterday, and he's out there competing. So
It's tough as a freshman to get out there, but do you see him as a guy who could be capable of that as a freshman?
yeah, absolutely.
George, with the last staff, like to use Mike Barrett in a very particular way defensively. You guys are obviously asking him to do some different things. How is he adapted to that?
Mike's doing a good job. He just kind of, I'm sure y'all have heard it from Mike McDonald, but if the guys earn the right to go out and play and compete, it's kind of in their hands. We're going to create every opportunity possible to get guys out on the field. Mike was a Viper in the last scheme that he was in, so he's kind of transitioned to the dime/will, and he's an instinctive guy. He kind of, we're looking to see who's going to be after the first two. You got Ross and what I've mentioned, Nikai, or with the first group, he's in that mix of guys that's working hard every day to compete.
Josh, I think Nikai said that Josh hadn't made a mistake all camp. Is that a little embellishment? And
yeah, well, Nikai, so what we did in the spring was he was getting a lot of cross training in,
okay,
and that's what we like to do. I did that with the safeties. When you come in, if you're playing 3-deep zone, I treat the 4 underneath players as X's. So he got some cross training at the Mike and the Will. I think when you do that, it just makes you understand it on a higher level, and moving him to both spots is help him understand it a little bit better, and he does. I mean, he's very conscientious, like I was saying earlier. Like, he takes notes, he writes it down. I mean, I was showing some of the other guys an example of how he goes right from special teams meeting, he flips the page over and then takes all of his defensive notes, and then you go over and you do bed check, and he's reviewing his notes every night. And if he misses something, hey coach, can you please repeat that? So he's very conscientious young man, and works real hard at it.
but he said Josh had really taken that next step in terms of leadership. Josh Ross.
Nikai said that about Josh? Oh yeah, I mean, Josh has been everything any coach could ask for in a leader, really all through the spring and all through fall camp. I mean, he's definitely separated himself, and his work ethic, his attention to detail, just his seriousness and maturity and how he attacks it every day is what, like, as a coach, you're like, man, this is awesome. So he definitely sets the standard in our room at a very high level. He's very consistent in his behavior and what he does, and I'm excited for him, excited to watch him this year and see what he does.